Hi everyone, today I want to share a new stamp set from the annual catalog, well at least new to me, stamp set from the annual catalog called Little Dreamers. It's really cute, I love the little animals, so I thought this would be great stamp set for a baby card, but it's also fun for some scrapbooking of some of my baby photos that I haven't quite got around to yet. Are you like me where your first child has like a lot of scrapbook pages done, your second child a little bit of scrapbook pages done, and then the third one has like no scrapbook pages done? So even though my littlest is now a 14-year-old, I like to jump around in my scrapbooking with whatever strikes my fancy, and I thought this was really cute, and I really like it for baby cards and baby scrapbook pages. So I wanted to show you the first card that I made with this bundle. So the bundle is really nice because it has a cutout for all of the images, including the stars, and then it's got a few extra little die cuts. This one cuts out little stars, and then there are some clouds and a cute little moon with a little stitching detail, so that's really sweet. So we're going to use the lion just because, I don't know, I think he's adorable with that little star pulling him up like it's a balloon. And I've already cut out some clouds and a moon just to make things go faster, but I didn't want to cut this one out off camera because I really wanted you to see ways to use it. Okay, so here's the card we're going to make, and it really shows off these stars nicely. So I'm just going to use a piece. This is Pool Party, and then what did I do with my little card kit? Here it is. Okay, so this is Pool Party, and then I've got a base of Pool Party. And then this paper is really fun. It looks like clouds. And this is actually from the Irresistible Blooms paper, which is an online exclusive, so you're not going to see this in the catalog. And it's a really pretty paper pack. It's mostly florals, but there's one here that looks like sky, and I thought this was pretty, so that's going to go right on the back there. And it's got all kinds of shades, so you can put this on soft seafoam. You can go darker with pretty peacock. So this is a really pretty kind of go with a lot of things background paper. So we're going to put it here, and it covers the entire base. So this is cut at 5.5 by 4.25, and I'm going to go ahead and lay it down just so that I have less pieces to keep track of. When I cover the entire back like that, I like to attach it standing up, so that way I know that it's like all the way down. So there, that's my background. And then I've cut this one. Usually my second layer is only 1/4 of an inch different on all sides, but actually I cut this one even smaller. So this, because I really wanted some more of this paper. This was another paper from that same pack, but some of them are a little more darker than others because it's kind of like washed. So it looks different, but it's the same paper pack. Anyway, this one, you'll see that it's got, I wanted some of that to show those pretty cloud looking ones. So I cut this piece even smaller than usual. So this is 5 by 3.75, and you can even cut it a tiny bit shorter if you wanted to really show more of those clouds. So how I'm going to cut these stars out is I'm going to angle them. I'm going to do it twice, once like this, and then I'm going to move it down and do it again, because it just makes this little squared off area. So let me show you that. Let me see if it'll fit on here. I like to use this mini when I do a video just because I feel like you can see more of what's going on. But not all dies fit on this, but most of them do, I'm finding. Sometimes even when they say they are not going to fit on there, if you angle them just right, they do. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I feel like there's an up and a down on these stars, so I'm going to go like that. So I'm going to do it twice. So I've got that die cut, and then I'm going to move it, and I have to get some of these little stars out. And I saved the little stars because I use them in, you know, maybe I'll use them in a shaker card down the road. So I have like a little baggie of stars. I had this out at Card Buffet, and a lot of people were saving their stars, probably with the same intention as I have. Okay, did I get them all? Okay, so then I'm going to take them and just move it down more, like that. Okay, so I've got my little stars in the center there. And then when we add our moon and clouds, that's kind of going to clear up some of this other space and it'll look less like a stripe of stars because it's going to have some floating clouds and the little lion. And that'll help with our border areas. Okay, so here's the little lion. Let's stamp him or her. I'm not sure what this one is. Is it just the, I think it's got to be a him, right? Because it has a mane. I don't know my lion facts. If you know your lion facts, let me know. I think that only the male lions have the mane. In fact, I'm pretty sure of that, actually. Okay. So I think I just grabbed a scrap here, so hopefully this will fit. Hey. All right, so I've got my lion and I'm going to color him, and there's so many ways to color with Stampin' Up. You can use your Stampin' Blends, which are the alcohol markers, and I think that mane or the lion body would look great in that wild wheat. Or you can use colored pencil, and you can also use markers. So we have so many options, and I kind of feel like lately I've been using my blends a lot. And so I thought I would show colored pencil just because I don't use them as often, and there's such an economical way to get color. Now I put mine all together in a box, but they come in an assortment 1 and an assortment 2. And you know, I think they're really a great price. I'm gonna look them up real quick. Okay, assortment 1 is $16. It has 2 more pencils in it, and that's because it has a black and a white. And then assortment 2 is $12.50. So you can get both sets of markers pretty inexpensively and have, or not markers, sorry, pencils, and have a good variety. So I really like that, because if you were to buy that many markers, the cost is a lot more. So anyway, really nice collection. And then you can add what's called a blender pen. I haven't checked the price on those. They last so long. I bought my blender pen so long ago that I don't even know how much they cost anymore. Let me see. I'm not even 100% sure where to find them. Gotta be here, right? Is that it right there? Blender pen. You get a set of 3 for $13, and they are, I'll show you when we get to it. I keep one in the palette colored pencil pack. Now the colored pencils from Stampin' Up are watercolor colored pencils, so you can use them with water, you can use them on their own, or you can use them with the blender pen that I'm going to show you. Okay, so I'm going to choose crushed. You can see how much I use these because this one's used quite a bit. I'm going to use crushed curry for my little lion here, but I also am going to throw in some, let's see, maybe pecan pie. I can find it. That's Cajun curries. That'd be good for it also. Let me see. Here's pecan pie. All right, so I'm going to use crushed curry. I'm going to use that for the body of my little lion. And I did not use these same colors on my other sample, and I kind of feel like that way you can see different ways to color them. And actually in the catalog, they colored the lion in shades of blue. So you can make him any way you want, because remember, it's like a little stuffed animal lion. So he can be any color that you want. I'm kind of going in small little circles. All right, so that little tummy area, I'm debating what to do with that because I want it to be lighter. not darker. I don't want it to be the same color as the main. So one way to get some different colors with your colored pencil is by pressing harder or lighter. So you can get a deeper color, and I think what I'll do is make the body a deeper shade. So I'm going to press harder, and you can get shadows and form this way too. So I'm going to, just like you would with your Stampin' Blend markers, how you add some darker around the curves to give it some form and dimension, you can do the same thing with your pencils. So I'm going to darken up his sides, and then I'm going to show you when we use the blender pen how to do that with that as well. Now you don't have to use the blender pen. I can show you when I'm done coloring him. We'll leave him just for a second as is, and we'll decide if we want to use that blender pen. Alright, so I've pressed harder, and then on the tummy area I'm just going to press really lightly and color it a lighter shade of the same color. See how I can get lots of variety with the same pencil? Alright, I'm going to do the face in the crushed curry also. I'm leaving a tiny little spot in the ears because I kind of feel like I want, you know, the inside of the ear to be a different color. Totally not necessary, but going all out with my pencils. Okay. Alright, so I think I'm going to grab, this is Calypso Coral, and give him a little inside of the ear color. Just for fun. You can give him a little rosy cheek if you wanted to too. I'm not sure that showed up. I have to do that harder. Okay, so I'm gonna test over here this what's this one? Pecan pie. And see if I like that for the main, or do I want to go Cajun Craze? Don't know. So I've got Cajun Craze up here, pecan pie down there. I think they're both good options, but I might go with Cajun Craze. That's what I'm going to go with. We'll see. So I need to sharpen it. I will say that this Faber-Castell sharpener is my all-time favorite. It's not sold by Stampin' Up, but we use it in my actual drawing class that I take in town, and my art teacher recommended it, and it's really fantastic. It doesn't chew up your pencils so fast. And you can find it anywhere. I found it at my local art supply store, mom and pop, but I've seen it at any hobby store, Michael's. I have seen it at Office Depot. I think had it in the back to school area. I've seen it everywhere. Amazon, of course. Okay, so I did this pretty light in Cajun Craze, and I'm thinking I need to darken that a little bit, so I am gonna press a little harder and come back in this hair. Fur, I suppose I should say, a little harder. Alright, he's really cute. Okay, so we can leave this little lion just like this, or we can get out our blender pens and play around with that. So let's see what that looks like. I'm going to do his tail. Okay, so here's, oh, I forgot the star. Kind of got to do that. So I'm going to choose Daffodil Delight, because the pencils don't have, I would have chosen Lemon Lolly, which is a new color, and that's what I cut the moon out of when I was cutting out all the moons and clouds, not realizing that there's no, I should have thought there's no pencil in Lemon Lolly, but that's okay. I'm overthinking it sometimes. Okay. Alright, so now this is how it is if you just colored it. You could die cut this out or hand cut it and you'd be good to go. or you can take your blender pen, and what this does is, I'm not sure what's in here. I heard it's got some kind of combination of like glycerin and something, I don't know. But what it does is it kind of blends like the color. So see how I'm fading out that pecan pie, and you can kind of play around with that a little bit. And what it does is it kind of can also act as a way to de-harshen any of your coloring lines. Like let's say you colored and you have a lot of lines showing because you colored, and see how there's lines there. If you go in with the blender pen, you can blend out those lines and you've got a cleaner colored look. So anyway, I'm going to use the blender pen. So I thought I'm going to start with my lightest area, which is the tummy, and I'm just going to lightly circular motion the tummy area. I don't know that it's going to show much of a difference. Okay, and then I'm going to do the body. Now it does move the ink around, so see how it's darker there? I can move that ink around, or not ink, color. And so I want that shading to stay darker there, so I'm mostly going to focus on the center areas like this and not mess up that darker edges that I wanted to keep. And you can go back in and add more darkness if you need to, if you lost it in your blending, which I think I kind of did on that foot. So maybe I should have taken a still shot of the lion before blender pen and after blender pen, so we could have done a comparison. I didn't think of that till just now. All right, and then I'm going to go with the darker main color. Yeah. All right, and I think I do want to soften out this star a little bit. I was heavy-handed on the star, so I'm not sure if it shows up in the video, but I do have some pencil lines in the star, and I'm blending those out a little bit by going in a little circular motion and blending out some of my harsher lines. So I was being fast. Okay, so all colored. Now I'm gonna get my stars off of there. I need new plates. I like to use my plates until they just can't take any more, and I haven't found that I'm there yet. It looks like I am, but it's still cutting, so I'm gonna let it go. I bought them already. They are already here, so when the day happens, when it's messing me up, I am all set to go. Okay. Now I like to take a little Post-it note or some washi, especially because I use my plates till they completely fall apart. I tend to have plates that are bowed, and so that sometimes can mess up when I'm cutting. So let's check that out. Okay, now it's just really simple from here on out because we're just assembling. See, it shifted a little bit, so I've got less white on one side, but there's still some on both. It's still okay. That might be a reason to get new new plates, right? Okay, so here is my card. Here was my base. And what I want to do is I want these stars to really stand off so that you can see a shadow through there. So I'm going to use a little more dimensionals than I normally would. Normally I would probably use 6, like each corner and then a couple in the middle. But I'm going to go a little heavier today. I'm going to do my 4 corners. But then I'm also going to add some along these edges of the cutout. So I like to use some of these little skinny ones sometimes. I use every little bit of my dimensionals. I don't throw away these edges. Probably all of us do the same, right? We all hang on to these little edges. Although I have seen people throw them away, and I think, what are you doing? That's like perfect for edging. Okay, so, and I want this because I really want those shadows. If you think you can get a little one in the middle of one of these, you could do that too. But I think I'm good. All right, I'm going to put this in the middle. All right, and then we're just going to add our pieces. So this lion is kind of going to soften the edge here. So he's going to get a couple. Maybe one in the star. There we go, he got 3. And then I'm going to show you the moon and the clouds that I already cut out. Okay, there's this guy. Okay, and then I'm going to take, let's see, in here is this deep Pretty Peacock. So I'm going to use Pretty Peacock, even though the piece of paper that I happened to grab on this one, that one doesn't have as much peacock as this one does. They both still have that tone, and I think that'll be a great color. So I'm going to grab a scrap of white from my little scrap pile. Let's see if I have one that's big enough. Is that big enough? Just barely. Let's see if it works. Oops. I tilted it a little bit. Let's see if we can get a nice clean. I did. Look at that. Okay. And it's a little close to the top. And there's more space on the bottom. I'm being picky. But let's try it. There's 2 sides to every paper, and you're going to see the top of my head now. Ooh, I did horrible. There we go. All right, so I'm going to cut it. That one goes away. And then I made myself a little inside piece for the card as well. And that one is going to get A Star is Born. And then, might as well, since we have these little stars, oh, all right, if that ever happens to you, don't fret. We're gonna fix that. Or I could flip it since I'm not done here. All right, let's flip it since I'm not done. But I will tell you, if that ever happens to you, grab your black marker and fix that, and don't fret. After you've colored it in, you can touch it up with your black marker. There we go. Better the second time. Alright, I'm going to throw this into here. And I always like to look at the back just because you never know if you're going in straight. There we go. And let me quickly color these stars. All right, now we just need our moon. Get these things out of the way. Our clouds and our moon. So there are 2 sizes of clouds. Here's one. Okay, so I thought I would kind of see where these needed to be if you felt like you had any issues to cover up. I've got kind of a line here from where the die kind of pressed into the paper, so I thought I would cover that up a little bit with this cloud. And then I can add this one wherever I feel. And I like it when they kind of hang off a little bit too. And you can have one of them be on-dimensional and one be flat. That's up to you. I think I'm going to do that. So I like the way that's looking. So that one's going to kind of hang out right there. And then the moon, I need a skinny dimensional for that. Let's see what I have over here. Got a whole stack of dimensionals left over from Card Buffet. I kind of throw them back in my pile. So I've got all these half-used packs. Okay, so I think I'm going to put this, if that wasn't dry yet. No. There. I like it when it's sticking above a little bit, so I've got stuff sticking above and the side. Alright, there it is. There's the little card. Here's the other. So 2 different ways to color your lion. There's probably infinite ways to color your lion. I hope you like it. I hope you'll check out the Little Dreamers bundle. So cute. I need to do this elephant pretty soon, and this guy's really cute too. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you'll subscribe and come back again. Bye.